Apparently, there's been so much weird stuff happening at ICE facilities across the country, including the Dallas shooting, and then now there's been like, I think this was actually the footage. I think this is it.
Federal officials yesterday saying the gunman in the deadly shooting at a Dallas ICE facility had done months of pre-planning.
Months of
29-year-old
pre-planning,
Joshua John allegedly going so far as to use ICE tracking apps to target agents. And Brooke Taylor is live in Dallas. She has much more. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Dana. Yeah, officials said that there was a high degree of pre-planning when it came to this attack, and
a high degree, you say?
Disturbing footage from the shooter's phone shows just how far he went to target these ICE agents. But I want to show you this new surveillance footage we have that a source sent me, and it really shows the chaos that was going on as these ICE agents and detainees are being targeted. This is the transportation van here that was hit by bullets flying everywhere. Agents.
Yeah, so if you're not tracking, the ICE shooter in Dallas didn't even shoot agents. He shot 3 detainees, one of which died on scene. 2 went to the hospital in critical condition.
And detainees inside these vans were then brought to safety inside. And if you wait a second, we'll also get video from inside this facility. So bullets were also flying inside. You see those detainees here. They have handcuffs on. They're shackled, and they're being rushed to safety by one of those ICE agents officers there. He just used his hands to push them forward so that they could get there quicker. And later on in the video, you could see these ATF agents and ICE agents go back outside, and they actually duck behind these vans and bring more detainees inside. So again, this just shows you the chaos that was happening as you have this shooter really firing off in all directions.
That's
and
wild,
really
dude.
Also the bravery of these ICE agents here, putting their lives at risk and making sure these detainees are safe. Officials say that the shooter, who has been identified as 19-year-old Joshua Yan, spent months planning this attack. He brought his own ladder and he climbed onto a
He brought his own ladder. Wow. He spent months up there only to shoot detainees. He obviously didn't practice marksmanship before he went at all. Or maybe he did. I don't know. The guy self-deleted on the rooftop. I'm sure you all saw the photos. I don't know what it is. Like, I saw the photos. Wait. What happened? Premeditated? Oh, that definitely makes it premeditated. 100%. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. Sorry. Sorry about that. Fixed it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Nearby roof and fired indiscriminately. Rounds of ammunition near the shooter had anti-ICE messages written on them. The FBI says they found detailed notes about the attack.
Iowa superintendent detained by ICE ran with a gun.
To target and kill ICE agents. The U.S. acting attorney for the Northern District of Texas says the shooter hoped his actions would give ICE agents real terror of being gunned down. And again, ironically, instead of shooting any ICE agents, he shot 3 detainees inside.
Isn't it weird that he wrote anti-ICE on the side of his, like, shell casing? Like, isn't that weird? I don't know anybody that would do that. You know what I mean? He hated the government so much that he didn't even hit his targets. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just irony. You know, like, it's so ironic that he set out with the intention of causing harm and or maiming or taking the lives of federal employees, government employees. And instead of doing that, he took the life of one person and injured 2 others who were the very people that he was trying to, quote unquote, stand up for. You know? It's just weird. Yeah. Allegedly. That's what they tell us. I haven't seen any of that stuff in person, but they showed us, I think they showed us pictures. I don't remember. That's what they tell us. But it is weird. It's just weird. I don't know anybody in the past who's ever written something on the side of their rounds to like indicate what they, like to indicate their beliefs. You know, they just did something. Like if they wanted to do something, they just do it. And they don't leave anything like that. They don't like, they're not trying to make a political statement. I don't know. It's just weird.
That van killing one of them.
He called the ICE employees people showing up to collect a dirty paycheck. He wrote that he intended to maximize lethality against ICE personnel and to maximize property damage at the facility.
Well, he definitely maximized damage against detainees is what he did, and not ICE personnel, which is really weird.
He hoped to minimize any collateral damage or injury to the detainees and any other innocent people.
He did the exact opposite.
Also used an ICE agent
Good job. You did the exact opposite.
Tracking app designed to spot and locate these ICE officers.
That is exactly what irony is.
It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target, and this is exactly what we saw happen in Dallas yesterday. The media has been amplifying these apps even as we warned them it would only lead to more attacks on law enforcement. We truly wish we didn't have to say, "I told you so."
Yeah.
But here we are.
And officials say they hope that people could clearly see on that video that these ICE agents were putting their own lives on the line just to help these detainees and bring them.
Yeah, they did do a good job of like ushering the detainees inside of the facility and get them out of like harm's way, because if they hadn't hurried them up in there, they probably more people would have got shot.
To safety. They want that to be the focus instead of this dangerous anti-ICE rhetoric that's online. And I could tell you just from speaking to my sources in this ICE facility, they have been so upset the last few days and just frustrated, to say the least, that they can't even do their jobs without worrying that they could be the target of an attack like this and killed. These are people who have their own families too. They're in these communities. And at the end of the day, they tell me they just want to make these communities safer, Dana.
Brooke Taylor, thank you for that update.
It's a good update. What else?
Joining us now, Deputy ICE.
What else is the update? Is there more update? It's just people talking. No, it's just people talking. Wait, hold on. Here we go.
Stop. Listen.
Violent rhetoric has led to over 1,000% increase in assaults on ICE officers, and it has to stop.
Violent rhetoric. Take some allergy meds.
In contrast to those who would demonize our men and women, yesterday our brave officers ran back into danger, along with ATF, our partners, to save the detainees while shots were still being fired. They are heroes, and I hope the media has the integrity to shine a light on this story. Enough is enough with the harmful lies and violent rhetoric. It has to stop.
I'll get your thoughts.
The jury selection is going to be interesting. Yeah.
The details that are
there's no
from this attack clearly.
There's no jury to have for this. The dude's dead. You know what I'm saying? The dude's self-deleted. You know what I mean? So there's no need for a court case.
Joe, this was meticulously planned all the way down to using those ICE.
You see that NBC wrote that? Yeah. We're going to look at that, actually.
Tracking apps.
We're going to check that out.
Absolutely. And Marcos has been fantastic throughout this entire process, and he's served as an excellent leader for our Dallas field office. What we see is that people are using these apps, using this violent rhetoric that we're seeing online, coming from the media, coming from politicians, to use this as an excuse to attack ICE officers. We see our officers getting compared to the modern-day Gestapo or to Nazis. This is unacceptable. This rhetoric has to stop, because we do not want to be handing folded flags to families. It's time demand that this stops, that this rhetoric ends now, so that the men and women of ICE can go out to the community to enforce the law as it's written. I always tell people the laws that the men and women of ICE are enforcing are the laws that Congress has passed, the laws that we are empowered to enforce in the United States as the executive branch, and we'll continue to do that under the leadership of President Trump and Secretary Noem. We've continued to have operations in Dallas. This will not deter us, but using apps and using social media to track ICE officers to intentionally put them in harm's way is unacceptable.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, you can't be doing that, man. Like, I get it. People are frustrated. There's a lot of animosity towards ICE and people that are like working with DHS right now, it's very nuanced, but bro, you can't be putting government officials' lives in danger. That's just, maybe there's a better way to do it. You know what I mean?